Yes, guys, so I just wanted to give you an update with the whole SARMs situation. As you can tell on my body, um, don't take them. Just do not take them. So, long story short, I took MK-677, LGD, and RAD. They were all half cycles, but I took them all together. Well, I took MK and LGD, and then after I took RAD, so it kind of made it a full cycle, if you know what I mean. That was about, I'd say 8 months ago, 9 months ago. But it's hard to explain. So long story, yeah, I've already said. Long story short, yeah, long story short. So I was 66 kilograms. Okay. After the cycle, I managed to pack on 74 kilograms total, which meant that I put on, let me do the maths quickly, 8 kilograms, and that was in a space of 2 months. So that was a kilogram a week. That is insane to think about, right? But as soon as you come off SARMs, your appetite goes completely. I was having about 5 to 6 meals a day, making the skinny boy shakes as well, like with every meal, which is more than likely how I ended up gaining so much weight. So just don't take them, because right after, when I stopped, like when my appetite stopped, let's just say I went back down to 69 kilograms, which isn't all too bad, because I did still gain weight within those 2 months, if you know what I mean, using the SARMs. But I mean, on average, people can put on 0.4 to 0.6 kilograms. I believe it's every month. So I did put on 3 times the amount. But I mean, like, this is how I would have looked like anyway. So yeah, my opinions on each one. So MK, it made me really hungry. As in, one day I woke up, I had a big bowl of porridge, 3 bananas, 4 eggs on toast for breakfast. That was just breakfast alone. Oh, I had a coffee as well. And then, oh, what did I have for lunch? So I had the Skinny Boy shake for lunch, and those Iceland takeaway pizzas with the melted cheese in the crust. So I had that, and then dinner, it was steak and rice with broccoli. But it was, again, the Iceland's big, I think they call it the Big Daddy or something like that. But yeah, that was like near enough at the start of my cycle. Going on, I started taking the LGD with the MK. Now, that I was seeing loads of gains in terms of like muscle building and so on and so forth. It made my muscles look really dry. They still kind of do that. I don't know. Would you say they look dry? I'm not. I don't know. But yeah, at the time, my muscles were really dry. But it gave this kind of aesthetic look to me. And I'm a small build anyway, so yeah, for that to happen, I was loving it. And then the RAD. RAD. The RAD was on a different level. Without getting into too much information, my bollocks was hurting a lot for about 4 weeks. Yeah, that stuff was really potent. It did its job. That is where I got my frame a lot bigger, if you know what I mean. And with the RAD, my personal bests when I was like off the SARMs was like my warm-ups for when I was on RAD, if that makes sense. So, for example, the concentrated bicep curl, before I was on SARMs, I was doing 16 kilograms for my personal best. Then when I got onto RAD, I was warming up with 20, which is not like a massive difference, but for somebody who was around 70 kilograms at that time, because this was just as I was starting the cycle, not after, I think that was pretty good. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. And then the aftermath of the SARMs, which I've previously spoken about. Personally, it's one of those things where you have to constantly take them, but giving yourself like a month break or something like that, kind of like what you'd do with taking ashwagandha, for example. So my recommendations personally is to not take it at all. Stick to your creatine and your multivitamins. Stick to fenugreek, ashwagandha, your vitamin D's, your Shilajit, sea moss is another one. And in terms of your diet, make sure in the mornings you have eggs, just eggs. You can have avocado with it or something like that, but keep to eggs, because with eggs the protein digestion is like 50%, which is just below breast milk. I don't recommend you to use breast milk, but that is the highest amount of protein that you'll be able to use. So yeah, eggs for breakfast. And then I'd recommend something along the lines of salmon, beef liver, even down to like cow tongue. This is stuff that most people do not like, but things like beef liver and salmon and all of that kind of stuff, that are basically superfoods. So not only are you going to be getting a massive amount of iron source using the beef liver, you're also getting a lot of protein per 100 grams. If you season it right, you can make it taste like a kebab. I know because I've done it. It's just a bit soggy. Yeah. And then dinner, I'd recommend something like steak, chicken, something like that, beef. Yeah, and I'd pair it with a high carb. I'd pair it with a high carb sides like rice, sourdough bread, even rice cake. Yeah, so that is what I'd recommend. I wouldn't exactly so on like a week-to-week basis, it's okay to have your odd treat. Like myself, I've treated myself to some chocolate milk. Yes, it's kind of bad for you, but at the same time, everything's bad for you if you have too much of it. So, yeah, as long as you limit yourself with the amount of junk, not the amount of junk food that you have, you should be okay. I don't know what your goal is, but what I can say is if you're losing weight, it's said a lot, but calorie deficit, it's all about calories in versus calories out. If you're trying to gain weight, obviously you need to be in a surplus, which basically means you have to have more than your daily recommended. There is a way how to find out for your own body weight how much you personally would need. You can search it up on Google. I don't know exactly how to do it, but I have done it before. My recommended intake is 2,700. So because I'm trying to gain weight, I'm trying to eat around 3,000 calories. And then obviously most people do know that you would need 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of your body weight. So for me, I need around about 150, 160, which I don't even do that. If I'm being honest, I have around 90 to 120 at most, but I am still quite lean. On the smart scales, it shows up at 9.8% body fat. Obviously, it could be off by a little bit, but yeah, yeah, there's not really much fat on me. A key indicator is this isn't a pump, but I am very veiny, so yeah, that's a great indicator as to know whether or not your body fat is low. Is as soon as like so it may sound stupid, but don't work out for a day. Have your muscles look exactly how it would without a pump, and then once like, you look at your body, if you see veins, not just in your arms, but like on your shoulder as well, or like on your pecs, or whatever, like wherever, you will know that you've got a low body fat percentage. Especially if, like, for example, I stand up quickly. I mean, I am not tensing one bit, and that, like, abs are showing. Another example, you can see your rib cage. But yeah, as I said, I am a small guy. I'm not gonna deny that. This is just information that new gym goers might want to take to consideration when they think that it's, like, finally time to take it serious. What else can I speak about? Diet. So, long story short, your diet is like that. So imagine an iceberg. Alright, the top bit is your workout, because you're only breaking down your muscle fibers doing that. And then obviously with every iceberg there's a massive part of it not showing, which is under the water. So that part is your sleep, it's your diet, it's your, yeah, that's basically it. So just make sure that you get enough sleep, make sure that your recovery is, like, spot on. Normally it takes muscles about 2 days to recover once you've trained them to failure. So this is why a lot of gym goers do either push-pull legs or like tries and chest, back and buys, like they do splits. So that's another indicator, because I mean, I've even went to the gym doing a full body workout and it doesn't do anything. You're pushing weight, yeah, but because you've overtrained your whole body, the next day you are so tired, you don't get things done, like, it's just not worth it. So I'd highly recommend for you to not do that. There is another thing that I want to talk about as well, which is the amount of reps that you do and the amount of sets that you do. So if you're trying to build muscle, I learned this from my brother, funny enough, but I mean, I'm still learning now, so yeah, 6 to 8 reps is what you'd want to do to build, like, size. You have to go high kilograms, low reps, and then you've got the 8 to 10 rep range, which is what I used to do. It's a bit more of an aesthetic look that you'd go for if you do that, where, like, you're not pushing yourself to the limit, but it's basically, I call it the 8, 9, 10 rule, where 8 reps. If you can only do 8 reps, you go down in kilograms. If you can do 9 reps, you stay the same for the next set. And then if you do 10 reps, you go up in kilograms for the next set. and you basically just do as many sets as you can. I typically like to do 6 to 8 sets per workouts, because it's scientifically proven that the 6 to 8 set range is where you build the most muscle. And then obviously there's more of like the I don't know what you call it, I forgot. There's the 10 to 15 rep range, which means like you're more going for like agility and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, that's about it. This was just a bit of a sit down talk about it. It's up to you whether you take some of this advice, dissect it, tell me if I'm wrong, because as I said, I am still learning. But these are just my views on like the gym culture and stuff like that. I think the next video that I will do would be to do with actually being in the gym. So things that I like, things I dislike. Yeah. So, I mean, this is my first YouTube video. It's not going to be the best. I'm going to be honest. But, I mean, yeah. I'm going to try and make this a weekly thing. But between work, gym, home life, social life as well. Yeah, I won't make any promises, but I will do my best to make it a weekly upload. So yeah, thanks for watching.